I thought it was going to be just another ordinary evening at school. Parent-teacher meetings always left me drained, long hours, polite smiles, and repeating the same things about homework habits and classroom participation. But that night changed everything. I remember sitting at my desk, shuffling through progress reports, when one of my students, Emma, walked in with her mother. Emma was a bright, sensitive 12-year-old, the kind of kid who drew quietly in the corner when others were loud. I always admired her calmness. Her mother looked tired but kind. We went over grades, talked about Emma's strengths, and her mother nodded thoughtfully. Everything seemed normal, until Emma suddenly blurted out something that froze me in my seat. She said, "Miss Carter, I think I saw your husband yesterday." I blinked, surprised. "Oh, where did you see him?" I asked lightly, smiling to mask my confusion. Emma looked nervous, glancing at her mother, but then continued, "At the ice cream shop near the mall. He was with a woman. They were holding hands." My heart stopped. For a second, I thought I hadn't heard her correctly. My husband with another woman? Holding hands? I tried to keep my composure, especially in front of her mother. I forced a chuckle and said, "Oh, maybe it was someone who looked like him." But Emma shook her head with the blunt honesty only a child could have. "No, it was him. I remember because he dropped his wallet, and I picked it up for him. He thanked me, and he introduced me to the lady as his friend." Her mother shifted uncomfortably, clearly realizing this had gone too far. She gently told Emma to stop talking, but the damage was already done. My ears were ringing. My chest felt tight. I smiled weakly, wrapped up the meeting quickly, and excused myself. The rest of the evening passed in a blur. I kept hearing Emma's words echo in my mind. He was with a woman. They were holding hands. When I got home, I confronted my husband. He denied it, of course. He laughed it off at first, saying, "You're really going to believe a 12-year-old over me?" He hugged me, told me I was imagining things, and for a brief moment I wanted to believe him. I wanted to stay in that safe bubble where everything was okay. But then, late that night when he went to shower, I did something I had never done before. I checked his phone, and there it was, message after message from a woman I didn't know. Sweet words, inside jokes, plans to meet, photos. My chest felt like it was splitting open. I dropped the phone and sat there, shaking, staring at the floor as the truth crushed me. The next morning, he admitted it. Not even with tears or guilt, just a cold shrug, as if it wasn't a big deal. He said it just happened, that he didn't want to lose me, but he also couldn't help himself. I can't explain the mix of emotions that ripped through me: anger, heartbreak, betrayal, humiliation. But what cut deepest wasn't even his confession. It was the fact that the truth came from my student, that I had been living a lie while a 12-year-old had seen what I couldn't. I kept replaying it in my mind. Me sitting there in that classroom, trying to encourage parents to trust me with their children, while my own life was falling apart behind the scenes. For weeks, I went through the motions, teaching lessons, grading papers, smiling at parents, but inside, I was shattered. Every time I saw Emma, I felt a strange mix of gratitude and pain. She hadn't meant to hurt me. In fact, in a way, she gave me a gift, the gift of truth. I wish I could say I walked away from my husband immediately, but I didn't. The betrayal left me clinging to the hope that maybe, just maybe, he would change, that maybe I could fix it. But lies don't stop once they've started, and soon enough I found more messages, more meetings, more excuses. That was when I finally broke. I packed a suitcase and left. It was the hardest decision I've ever made, but also the most necessary. It's strange how life works. You expect betrayal to come crashing in through the front door, loud and dramatic. But for me, it arrived quietly, in the voice of a child, during what should have been an ordinary meeting. And that's the part that still haunts me. Not just the betrayal itself, but how blind I was to it. How someone so young saw the truth, before I could. Looking back now, I realize Emma's honesty saved me. She gave me the courage to stop pretending, to face reality, and to reclaim my life. If you've ever been betrayed, you know the sting never fully goes away. But it does transform. It becomes a scar, a reminder that you survived, that you learned. So now, when I sit across from parents at those meetings, I see it differently. I don't just talk about grades and homework anymore. I notice the little things, the way a child looks at their parent, the way truth sometimes slips out in unexpected places. And I remind myself that children often see more than adults ever want to admit. That night changed me forever. What began as just another parent-teacher meeting became the unraveling of my marriage. And, in an odd way, the beginning of my healing. Because sometimes the truth doesn't come from where you expect it. Sometimes it comes from the unfiltered honesty of a child. And sometimes that's exactly what you need to finally set yourself free